Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder, to some first impressions on the BI, which is a Soviet jet fighter of rank 5, battle rating 6.7, and you can get your hands on this non-premium event vehicle via the ongoing war game called Strategist. And the question is if it is worth it. In my opinion, this thing is both hilariously fun and also frustrating. It is crazy overpowered and useless. It is extremely extreme in every aspect. And this is now a small map called Mostok that shall just visualize immediately what I'm talking about. I'm taking off the runway with less than 2 minutes of fuel. I'm already going back on the throttle because I'm so fast, and otherwise I would just simply go into a lockup. And I catch enemies as they are literally taking off from the runway. The J7W1, a very powerful plane, caught off guard, and the 90 rounds that I have for the two 20mm Schwarz cannons, well, some of them bounce regardless of the belt that I'm using, and I just stirred up a hornet's nest, and this was exactly what I wanted to do, so that I give my team the maximum amount of numerical advantage and positioning advantage. The props, the jets, they need to sacrifice energy, altitude and position to just evade me and also try to hunt me down. But just look at the sheer power that this thing has. And then I'm just going back on the throttle. I get the kill assist, which is already better than the average result in some other battles. And my dream comes true. Jets are going for me, and they're going in a full stall. Now at lower speeds, this plane is ridiculously powerful in turning, but it's not really great when locking up. However, here, look at this gifted kill. Oh yeah, thank you. So, kill assist, kill, 32 rounds of ammunition remaining, 53 seconds of fuel remaining, and then this. Hit and critical hit, out of ammunition, and back to the airfield I go. It's my second kill assist, so yeah, that is actually pretty good, and one of the best results that I managed to do with a single flyout with 90 rounds of ammunition. But it's just like 3 minutes into the game, and I'm already returning back to the airfield to replenish my ammunition and also some fuel. So I still have 45 minutes of fuel remaining. Let's talk about the fuel and the engine power. The engine power is crazy. It is better than any sort of ME163 or Ki 200 experience that I had in the past. But again, it's only 2 minutes. But if you go back on the throttle to 20-25%, you still can accelerate and climb, and that just gives you a longer endurance. There is also a thing in War Thunder where the percentage of throttle that you give and the fuel consumption do not linearly correlate with each other. So that means that by reducing to a quarter or to a fifth of the throttle, you give yourself 10, 15, 20 times the amount of fuel, and I'm not exaggerating. So for every second, every fuel second gives you at 20% like 15 seconds of flight time. Also, this plane is an excellent gliding machine. So if you're at altitude, you can literally glide back to your airfield from the other side of even big maps. It just doesn't lose speed. The downside, of course, is that you have a limited top speed of, depending on the altitude, 700, 800 kilometers an hour before you run into danger of ripping your wings. So yeah, and now we are starting again, and just look at the acceleration. This is brutal. This is top tier jet level of acceleration, and yeah, I'm immediately trying to change direction, and then at some point also going back on the throttle, and then we run into something that is a real problem, and effectively immediately kind of affected the making of this video. Enemy bombers, be them Gemini-Rados or Canberras, whatever you fly against, bombers are running. They just want battle time, they openly admit it, and to hunt them down when they are like at 10 10, 13 kilometers altitude, it's not gonna work. And yeah, you might get up there, but you just have not the wings to create the lift, and you cannot go to higher speeds before you rip your wings. This has happened, as you could see in the intro, and that is the frustrating part. Let's talk about the cannons. Two 20mm Schwag cannons with 45 rounds each. Regardless of the belt that you're using, they are very often pretty bad. And it takes very well aimed shots with the right belt, in this case the armor piercing incendiary belt, into an engine. And if somebody is evading, that's not guaranteed. In this case, very lucky, good aim, enemy flying AFK. He actually still had the bombs, so he actually returned to the airfield and took off again, was space climbing. And yeah, I outperformed here the Yak 3. And then I just tried to make a turn, hope that he just burns down at some point, because I don't think that I have both. Yeah, there is the kill. I probably would not have had the performance to go back and ignite the other engine or something like this, and also still go for the other Arado. And there you can see how brutally this thing locks up at like 9 kilometers of altitude. And you sadly find yourself very often at this altitude in this day and time. I think this is a real problem. There were so many suggestions given to Gaijin, so much feedback how to tackle this problem. But this event, when it's just, time spent in battle, it just brings forward the worst of the worst in certain players. And they don't care that they don't gain any more civilians, RP, battle activity, etc. They just want to spend time, looking at the beautiful skies of War Thunder. Because why not? And that is kind of really biting into the experience that I have with this plane. Again, it's just the first impressions. So this is a very extreme aircraft. It takes a lot of knowledge about the maps, how a battle just develops, how enemies behave, what kind of belt you use, and it's very specialized. The Me-163 and the Ki-200 are in theory really good bomber hunters. They just rarely come across them. They also have longer endurance, and they kind of need it. But then they have hard-hitting 30mm, and if they hit, when they hit, they deal a great damage. This one though, the 20mm, you cannot realistically go for bombers. You can intercept them, you can straight go for them with 100% throttle, and you are just able to catch them, which no other plane at this battle rating has hoped to do, except if it is another bomber with air spawn, that is. But this thing, it's like it has too many muscles to walk properly. That is both a unique experience, but also frustrating at the same time. It's really difficult to just give you a verdict on this, even trying to give a verdict. There will be people that absolutely will play this thing day in, day out, and I can absolutely understand it. The performance is ridiculous. But then again, if you want to really grind, if you want to have something reliable, I think there are significantly better planes than this. Again, this is a non-premium event reward plane. So you get it stock, and it doesn't give you improved RP and or civil line gain, except if you put a talisman on it, but that costs. I'm really not sure what to think about this plane. I think it looks cool. I think the experience was very unique, but at some point I got really fed up and frustrated. Maybe if I'm in a different mood whatsoever, but this is not a plane that I would love to fly for, I don't know, years to come, or days to come even. So here, gladly, we defeated the enemy somehow by bombing their airfield. And yeah, 2 kill assists and 2 kills for a 17-minute long battle. Let's have a look at the post-battle results. And yeah, there we can see it is 11,900 RP and 55,000 Silverlines. That's a decent result, but nothing really spectacular. The plane is spectacular, both in a bad and a good way. And that's my first impressions on this plane, so I hope you enjoyed this short little video. Give it a like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see each other on the waves, on the battlefields, and in the skies of War Thunder.